Hello, welcome to the English class. I am Sujita Satyan, TGT English from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Thrissur, Kerala. The class is on developing writing skills, and today we will focus on article writing. Dear children, we all know that writing is a skill. It is an art, but we can develop it, we can nurture it, and the way towards it is to have a very good reading habit. The more you read, the more enriched you are with your thoughts, with your ideas, with your opinions. And then you feel like expressing it, sharing it. And how can you do that? Yeah, well, one way of expressing and sharing our ideas, opinions, and thoughts are to talk to the near ones. Orally, we just talk and share it. But when you have to express, when you feel like expressing it to a large audience, what is the way? How will you do that? Yes, it is by writing. And you might have seen many writers writing in the newspapers, magazines, journals, and nowadays you might have read many blogs also where the writers express their thoughts, their views, their opinions and all. What is the form they adopt to express their ideas? It is the article. They write it in the form of an article. So today in this class we will learn what is an article and how to write an article. So let us begin by knowing what is an article. Yes, an article is a piece of writing usually intended for publication in a newspaper, magazine or journal. It is written for a wide audience, so it is essential to attract and retain the reader's attention. An article could be descriptive, narrative or argumentative. An article should give opinions and thoughts as well as facts. So let us have a look on some of the articles that are published in the newspaper. Here it is. How is it? Interesting, isn't it? What is that attracting your attention towards it? Yes, the catchy captions. See the captions. A water pollution time bomb. Ganga chokes as sugar mill dumps waste. The dying river. The title of the article is attracting the attention at once. So the topics, the titles are very catchy. Now children, you may wonder what the writer writes in it. Yes, it is something interesting. Why do the writers write? Let us see. What is the purpose of article writing? Article is on a particular theme or an idea. An article presents information and also makes an argument. It analyzes the problem discussed in the article. It offers solutions to the problem. It needs to objectively present both pros and cons of an issue or a problem. Now, let us see what are the things, what are the ingredients that we need to compose an article, to create an article, to write an article. When we prepare a dish, we need some ingredients. First we gather all the ingredients and then we start the preparation for it. In the same way, here, let us see what are the ingredients that we need to write an article. Here it is. The first thing we need to write an article is the title. Yes, the title of the article has to be interesting. And immediately after that, you have to write the name of the writer, that is by line. And then you leave a line and the body of the article starts from here. So the first paragraph will be the introduction. In the introduction paragraph, you introduce the topic in an interesting way. And what are the techniques for it? Some of the techniques, you can use a suitable quotation, or you can start by asking a question, and or you can just introduce the topic in simple statements, And after the introduction, we move to the main body of the article, where you may have one or two paragraphs. One or two paragraphs in which the topic is further developed in detail. Here you will be presenting your points, including relevant facts, figures, examples, etc. Your points means you may suggest, you may present the problems, and you may suggest a solution for the problem. And remember, your language should not be a very informal and chatty conversation style. It should be a formal language with good vocabulary, and you can also use variety of grammatical structures that you have already studied in your junior classes, conditional clauses, relative clauses. But remember, don't overload your paragraphs with many complex sentences. Use a simple sentence which conveys the meaning very clearly. Then in these paragraphs, you will be justifying your ideas by giving facts and relevant examples. Then we move to the last paragraph, that is a conclusion. And here in this paragraph, you summarize your points and make a general comment, or you give a call to all to stand for or to fight against something. In other words, the closing paragraph summarizes the main idea of the article, or it gives a final opinion, recommendation, or comment. So these are the ingredients that we need to write an article. Let us just recall the first thing you will do in an article writing. You will give a title, an interesting title. Immediately after that, you will write the name of, or that is the byline, and then you move to the body of the article. First paragraph, you will introduce the topic. Then you will move to the body of the article, where you will develop, you will just give the detail, and where you will be giving your points, and your points and ideas will be supported by some evidences, facts, and then you move to the last paragraph, that will be the conclusion, where you summarize your points, or you may give a general comment, or you give express the final opinion, and or you close it with a positive note. Now, here is a task for us. Let us try and write an article on the following topic. The verbal input is given here. I will read it for you. With the ever-increasing population and water pollution, the quantity of usable water has decreased. There is an acute scarcity of water everywhere. Water pollution has become a major environmental issue. Write an article in about 150 words for the school magazine, expressing your concern, views, and suggestions to save this precious resource for the present and future. So let us begin. But let us remember one thing. Before we begin writing, it is important to consider what is the aim of the article that we are going to write. Is it to advise, suggest, inform, compare and contrast, describe, etc.? Here, the topic we have got is water pollution. What is the aim? What is our aim here? We are going to inform the world. We are going to give some suggestions and a piece of advice. So let us begin. The first thing is the title. Now, let us remember that our title should be very interesting, right? Here you have the example. Just see which is more interesting. How to prepare for the exam or exam nerves cure? Yes, naturally it is exam nerves cure. But dear children, the first one is also not wrong. The title of the article carry 1 mark. It carries 1 mark. So you need not spend lot of time for making the title interesting. The second thing that you have to remember is that you have to capitalize the title. That means the first letter of every word of the title will be in capital letters. Here you can see H, P, E are in capital letters. And Coming to how to make it interesting, there is one way. Just you can use punctuation and make your title. You can make it interesting, like TV, a teenager's view, or TV, the teenage view. Now moving ahead, now we have got the topic, and what is the first thing we have to do? Let us read the verbal input once again. Let us see what is expected from us. I read it. With the ever-increasing population and water pollution, the quantity of usable water has decreased. There is an acute scarcity of water everywhere. Water pollution has become a major environmental issue. Write an article in about 150 words for the school magazine expressing your concern, views, and suggestions to save this precious resource for the present and future. Now, how we will begin? Just first write down everything that you know about the topic. Just jot down all the points. Your points need not be in complete sentence. Just you jot down the points that you know about this topic. And also reflect on why the subject is important. That is, why? What is the need of the hour? And just jot down. After jotting down, you may get something like this. When you brainstorm your ideas, you may get some points like this. Water pollution is contamination of water. The other point, pollution of lakes, rivers, ponds, waste from factories, houses, other buildings reach water bodies, untreated sewage, garbage dumped into water bodies, diseases like jaundice, typhoid. You may also add water pollution kills fish and it adversely affects marine life, need of awareness among the people. You can suggest treating wastewater before releasing and a legal action against the wrongdoers or against the defaulters. So you have jotted down all the points. Now the next step is to draw the outline. What you do in the what you do in this outline is you just decide which idea will go first and how you will support that idea with evidences or by giving a fact or some example. So in the outline, you will decide this. So first we will decide which idea will go to the first paragraph, which ideas will go to the second paragraph. That means you are organizing your ideas. So let us see that. The first paragraph, as we already learned, that the first paragraph will be the introduction. Now you can think of a sentence or a suitable quote to start the paragraph. A few examples are here. Thousands have lived without love, not one without water. Water is life. Water is one of the vital natural resources on earth. 2/3 of the earth's surface is covered with water, but ironically today we are facing the problem of scarcity of water. Any of the above sentences can be further expanded to start the paragraph, mentioning the problem of water scarcity and thus coming to the topic of water pollution. And in the second paragraph, what you will include? The causes of water pollution. So first, what is water pollution? Then you have come to causes of water pollution. Some points are: pollutants reach water bodies without treatment. Sewage and wastewater are discharged into lakes and rivers, contain toxins and harmful chemicals. Other causes are dumping of solid waste and litters like plastic, styrofoam, and another point, urbanization. Now dear children, here you need not take all the points and load your paragraph with too many ideas. You just see that your paragraph contains 2 or 3 points, 2 or 3 ideas, not more than that. And here you can move towards, you can have another paragraph for writing the effects of water pollution. So what are the effects of water pollution? The points are like that. So you are arranging, you are organizing your ideas. First you have jotted down, now you are organizing them. So few points were actually the effects of water pollution. causes diseases like typhoid, jaundice, cholera, harms not just humans but the whole ecosystem. And polluted water there is a dearth of oxygen which suffocates plants and animals in water. Then we will move to the third paragraph, and there you will write how to stop it, how to prevent it, and here you can also give your suggestions, and you can close the paragraph with a positive note. So the points are: proper dispose of non-biodegradable items, treating industrial sewage and wastewater before releasing, and you have suggested to follow the 3 R's, that is reuse, reduce and recycle wherever possible, and also a punishment or a legal action against the defaulters. So here you have drawn an outline. Now what is the next? Next, you will develop this outline into paragraphs. Remember, at least 3 paragraphs should be there in an article. So all the points that you have written, first you have jotted down the points. Under outline, you just arranged and organized those outline, and now you are going to develop it into paragraph. Remember that there should be at least 3 paragraphs. And when you are writing the first draft, don't worry or bother about your grammatical mistakes and language mistake. You just develop the points into paragraphs. You just focus on the content, all the points that you have jotted down. See that you have developed those points and ideas into paragraphs, because dear children, remember, in the examination the content carries 4 marks. If the article is of 10 marks, 1 mark is allotted for the title and the 4 marks for the content. So you should be you should see that your content, your ideas are well organized, and it is in a coherent manner. After writing the first draft, you will go for the final draft. That is, now what you will do before writing the final draft? You will revise the first draft and you will improve it. How to improve it? You can improve the first draft in 2 ways. The first, by adding some ideas while writing the first draft itself. Many times new ideas rush into your mind, and you feel that, oh my, the previous one was not good. So you can think of adding those ideas. You can delete some ideas. And the second way is to improve or to make the language beautiful. The second point, make the writing coherent. This is very important. Organize the ideas in a very logical way. See that your paragraphs are interconnected. There is a flow in your writing. And the third point, correct the grammatical errors. Just go through the sentences, and if you find any spelling mistakes or your grammatical mistakes, correct that. Improve the language. How you can do that? Just replace a repeated word with a better one. And another important thing is that use vocabulary related to the theme. Now most of the topics that you get in an article writing is either related to your social science or science. There you should just try to recall the words, the phrases that you have studied in that class. So those words will make the use of those words and vocabulary which are related to the theme will make your paragraph beautiful. Like suppose if you, in the present scenario, if you get, if you are asked to write an article on COVID-19. So while jotting down the points, you can just you jot down all the words and phrases that you have heard or the words that are related to COVID-19, like quarantine, swab test, then social distancing, plasma test, donating plasma. So these are all words just to jot down. So see that your vocabulary is related to the theme. Now your final draft, you have planned the second draft, and before finalizing it, just read and reread the draft. Now, dear children, you may wonder, oh God, I have to go through all these processes to write an article. Dear children, to reach to a better stage or to improve our writing skill or to enhance our writing skill, we have to undergo such a training. These processes of writing will surely improve your writing. Here, let us try to recall what are the processes that we went through to write this article. First, we read the verbal input carefully, twice. If need is there, you can reread it. And then you had a brainstorming session under which you jotted down all the points. Then you drew an outline. That means you decided which ideas will go first and which will be followed by that. And you added some relevant facts and examples to your ideas. Next stage was writing the first draft, where you developed your outline into paragraphs. And there you concentrated only on the content. And when you moved to the second draft, where you tried to improve your first draft by adding and deleting some ideas. Then you arranged your ideas in a very logical manner. You corrected your grammatical mistakes, and here you give little more attention towards the language editing. And then you are ready with your final draft. So dear children, here is a small exercise for you, just to give an idea how you can make the topics, how you can convert the topic into an interesting title. So let us see. The topic was a healthy diet, and the title you can go for an apple a day keeps the doctor away. The second topic is school exams. Yes, which title? A testing time. The third topic is the internet, and a very attractive title is need to be connected. These are just suggestions. A successful career, reach for the top, 27 years of imprisonment, a long walk to freedom. So when you get a topic, try to make it an interesting one. Now here is another exercise which you have been doing in your previous classes, in your junior classes also. Here only you have to write the words in the correct order to make questions. The sentences are in jumbled manner. You have to arrange, you have to put it in correct order. And when you put these words in correct order, you will get questions like this. What is water pollution? What are the causes of water pollution? What are the effects of water pollution? How can we stop water pollution? So dear children, these are actually the points which will help you to write the article. It is all, when you answer these questions, you will get an article which is written in a logical way, in a very coherent manner. Now, let us see. So, what process, let us just try to recall what are the process that we went through to develop an article. You can follow this process approach to write any writings, that is, it may be an essay, it may be an article, any writing. Just you follow these processes and you will, the end product will be a beautiful piece of writing. And as I said that you may have a doubt that in the examination hall, how can I go through all these processes to write an article? Dear children, no need. Because before that you would have undergone many practices following these processes, and you will be ready to write a very good article in the examination. So the suggestion is write at least one writing an article or an essay following these processes, and at least one in a week or one in a fortnight, and that will give you a very good practice, and by the time you are writing the final exam, there is no need to devote much time for all these processes. Just you can read the question and jot down the important points, draw an outline, and from the outline you can go for the final draft. So we went, just go through, let us go through the revise the processes that are involved in writing article. Brainstorming. In brainstorming session, what we do, we jot down as many ideas as we can about a given topic, and then we arrange the ideas in a sequence. In outlining, what we do, we create an outline for our writing, and that is, we decide which ideas will go first, how will they be supported by evidence, example, etc. Then we write the first draft. Here the focus is on the content, not the form. That is, at this stage we will not bother about language mistakes or errors. Then after writing the first draft, we will revise it, we will improve it by adding or deleting ideas and improving the language. And the last stage is proofreading, that is language editing. And this, in the classroom, you can do this language editing with the help of your peers, classmates, or your teachers. And here the focus will be not on the form, the focus will be not on the content but on the form, that is your language, your grammar, etc. That is very important, because for language and expression 5 marks are allotted to it, and then you are ready to write the final draft. So dear children, let us see what are the guidelines that we should follow while writing an article. First, give your article an interesting title. It is important to have clear paragraphs. Then, in your plan, decide what you will write in each paragraph. Write at least 3 paragraphs. Give relevant examples, 2 or 3 constructive suggestions to the problems, if any. And then see that your introduction is short. Don't make the first paragraph, the introduction, a very long one. Make the introduction reasonably short. You could use a question or questions which you then answer in the article. And do not use quotation out of the context or just for the sake of using. And then do not use contracted forms. For example, instead of writing I am, you are just writing I apostrophe am. Avoid such short forms. So dear children, I hope you got some idea about writing an article. You understood what is an article and how to write it. What are the processes that you should undergo to write an article? So using those processes, here is a small work for you, and try to write an article on this following the processes that we discussed in this class. That means first you will jot down the points, the brainstorming session, then you will draw an outline. After that you will write the first draft, in which you will develop the outline into various paragraphs, and then you will go for the second draft, where you will improve upon the first draft by adding or deleting some ideas and organizing it well and seeing that your paragraphs are well connected, and then you will do some language editing and you are ready with your final draft. So follow those processes and try to write an article on this topic. I will read the question for you. By 2050, India will be amongst the countries which will face acute water shortage. You are highly alarmed and terrified of the future world without water. So write an article on Save Water. Are we doing enough? For the local daily in 150 to 200 words. So thank you children for being with me. I hope you learned how to write an article. Thank you.